FX Nation, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And in this video guys, we're going to take a look, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into how to correctly use the FXN indicators that we were talking about in the last video. Alright guys, let's get this video started. Alright, so the first thing that I want to address guys is I've had a lot of questions about this. So is the timing, and the timing meaning like, well, what time zone, you know, should I have my charts in and stuff like that. At the end of the day guys, it doesn't matter it should not matter what time zone you have for your charts. Okay, in TradingView, when you change your time zone to your specific time zone, whether you're in New York or whether you're in Toronto or San Pablo or wherever it is that you are, okay, the only thing that it changes is literally the times down here at the very bottom. Okay, so as you can see, as I'm changing these two different cities, the times are actually changing to represent where you specifically are. Alright, so as you can see, it's just changing the times at the bottom. That's it. Alright, it's just literally changing only the times that it displays for you. Alright, now when you go to add the indicators, you don't need to do anything about adjusting times or anything like that. The actual boxes will print exactly how they're supposed to print. Okay, so don't make this complicated. It's really simple. Literally keep whatever time zone you're in. Okay, if you're in Sydney time zone, then put it to Sydney time zone. It's fine. The boxes are going to print where they should print. All right, so to get the indicators, just go to indicators up here in TradingView, type in FXN, and you'll see the three indicators. Okay, so first let me go ahead and show you the Asian range indicator and how to correctly use it, because we want to make sure guys that these indicators are great, but I want to make sure that you understand how to correctly use them so you don't interpret the indicators in a different way than the way that I intended it to be created. All right, so let's go in and talk about this one first. So with this specific indicator, the Asian range, okay, what is that going to give you essentially? It's essentially going to draw the boxes for our Asian range, which I specifically trade, and then it's going to give you essentially the range of the boxes for the Asian range, the trading zone for London, and the trading zone for the US. So these boxes here, okay, so this first green box here is the trading zone for London specifically. Second box is going to be the trading zone for the US session specifically. Again, you don't have to adjust any timings or anything like that. Look, if I change my timings at the bottom, my time zone at the bottom, let's say to Moscow, the only thing that changes literally is the actual time at the bottom. The boxes are going to draw out on the correct, in the correct style that they should. Okay, in the correct timing. So you don't need to worry about that. Literally just make sure whatever time zone you're in, just to set it to the time zone, and that's it. Okay, that's all it is. All right, now you might notice when you start adding the indicators, specifically the this weekly and day separator, when you add that one, what it does is it basically gives you the days of the week, so you know what day of the week it is, and then it tells you the beginning of the week here. This yellow line here is the beginning of the week. So if you go back, essentially there's the beginning of the week. Okay, so that's what it'll give you. Okay, now what you might notice is that if you go to a different chart, the charts may do this. Okay, may scrunch up. So if it does that, just right click on the white on this side here, okay, where all the numbers are, where the price numbers are. Just right click and make sure that you have scale price chart only selected, and that should fix that problem. Okay, so if you go to a new chart and you basically see it like this, like scrunched up really like this, just make sure that you right click and make sure the scale price chart only is selected, and that'll fix that problem. All right, so that's what the weekly day separators do. So all it does essentially is literally give you the different days of the week, and then it basically separates the week for you with the yellow line, so you know essentially you can basically look at the cycle is what I'm intending it for. We're gonna add more stuff to the indicators, guys, so just be patient, and I want to get it done correctly, and so there's no kind of time frame or anything like that. So this is just what we have right now to use, but we'll always make them better. We'll add new stuff to them. All right, so the last one is going to be the buy and sell signal, the 5 and 13 cross. All right, so very important on this one, okay, is I want to make sure that you understand how you're supposed to use that last one, the buy and sell signal of the 5 and 13 cross. Okay, I want you guys to understand that this indicator specifically, its only job is to indicate when a 5 and 13 cross has happened. Okay, that's the only thing that it looks for. All right, so it's not looking for anything else. Literally, it's just wanting to see where the 5 and 13 cross. All right, so that is why you see a cross here where it says sell or buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. All it's telling you, all it's indicating is that it's a crossover the 5 and 13. It does not mean that every time that you see a little thing that comes up for sell or a little thing that comes up for buy, that does not mean that you're supposed to buy or sell the currency. Okay, I want to make that really clear, that the only purpose for this specific indicator is to let you know when the 5 and 13 EMAs have crossed each other. That is it. So that is why you're going to get multiple crosses like you see here multiple times, and it's just indicating literally that the 5 and 13 have crossed each other. That is it. Okay, but again, I want to stress this I want to stress this, the fact that you do not take trades just because it says sell or buy, sell or buy, sell or buy. Okay, again, it's just an indicator to let you know that the 5 and 13 have crossed. So the purpose of it essentially is, if you wait for the second leg of the M to cross, this is where you should sell. Okay, so this is where you sell. Again, this is just letting you know how many times the 5 and 13 cross each other. That doesn't mean that you should buy or sell here in these areas. Why do I have the lines? What are these dotted lines, right, that are extend out? The dotted lines, essentially what they are is to help you identify these blue, this one here, and this orange one here, is basically to help you identify type 2 and type 3 patterns. So you can see when it actually gets stuck in the middle of the range or at the top or the bottom of the range. That's what those lines are there for. Okay, that's the only purpose that they serve, is to help you identify type 2 and type 3 setups. That's all that they're there for. So they're always going to print at the top of the range where we look for type 2s, at the bottom of the range where we look for type 2s, and in the middle of the range where we look for type 3s. Okay? So another question that I get asked all the time is, do I have to wait for the second leg to appear in the New York session? Okay, so if you get a second leg with inside a second leg M or W inside of this London box, and you have a crossover the 5 and 13, you can take the trade. Okay, this is not something where you're basically waiting for, you know, a second leg only over here to happen. Okay, that's not what that's for. If you get a second leg, so if you get something like this, an M like that, and you get a crossover here, the 5 and 13, then you can take the trade. Okay. So as long as the setup happens inside of the box, that's a major important point. The setup has to happen inside of the box. So the second leg of the M has to be inside of this box. Okay. As long as the second leg of the M is inside of this box or inside of this box, like this one is here, you can take that trade. There's your trade. Okay. So that's what the boxes are there for. The boxes, these boxes here are basically your trading zones for London and New York session. That's it. Okay. So if you think, if you're looking at this and you think that this is an M, there's your crossover, there's your trade. Okay. Now, is this thing going to be perfect every time? No, it's not going to be perfect every time. Okay. Are you going to miss trades because sometimes, you know, you'll get a first leg here, second leg in this empty space, and it'll work its way down? Is that going to happen? Of course it'll happen sometimes. Yes, it will. Okay. Nothing is perfect. All right. But if you go back and you back test this, literally back test the second leg M or W happening in these boxes and tell me how accurate you are when you get a second leg M or W that happens in the box with a crossover with 5 and 13. Go back 6 months and tell me how accurate it is. Back test it by all means. Okay. So again, all we're doing with these indicators is just to make trading more black and white for you, so you don't have to think about, do I get into the trade or not? Okay, because if you start thinking, your psychological and your emotional stuff starts to kick in, right? And so you don't know what to do. So this hopefully is making trading easier for you because you understand that you're looking for very specific things to happen. Okay, and if you want to have the higher percentage wins and trades, essentially this is how you get there. Okay, are you going to miss some trades? Yes, you'll miss some trades. Okay, you'll miss some trades that maybe have a railroad track on a first leg and that never come back for a second leg. Yes, you'll miss some of those. You'll miss a star pattern that happens on a first leg and it keeps going down, never comes back up for a second leg. You'll miss those, yes. But if you are patient and you wait for the right setup at the right time for the right pattern, okay, your success rate should be very, very high because you're being very selective and picky about the trades that you're looking for specifically. Okay, so the three indicators that we have essentially mark out the Asian box. It tells you the range, right, in pips for each box, as you can see here. It also tells you the ADR as well for the day for that specific pair. So you'll see that written right below it when the market is actually moving. Okay, the boxes here are basically your trading zone for London, trading zone for the US session. Okay, the lines here are basically to help you identify type 2 and type 3 patterns. Do not worry about these middle lines here that are in the boxes. Don't worry about this. This means nothing. Okay. And then for the 5 and 13 crossover indicator, again, all it does is that it indicates when you have a crossover of the 5 and 13. So if you're thinking about taking a sell here, you want to make sure that you have a second leg M, you know, setup. Okay, if you just have one leg, should you be in that trade? No. You know, wait for the second leg to appear. There's your setup, there's your trade. All right. So that's literally all that you're looking for with these indicators, guys. All right, as we code more stuff into the indicators, we'll make them better. But for right now, that's how you actually use those indicators that we created for you. Okay, so I hope that this video answers a lot of your questions that you might have had regarding the indicators and stuff like that. So that's it, guys. As we add more stuff to the indicators, I'll make a video on it. I'll explain it all for you so you know exactly how to use it, so there's no confusion at all or anything like that about how to use the indicators. All right, guys. So again, thank you so much for the support, guys. Thank you so much for reaching out with questions. And guys, have a great weekend.